Hey, how's it going? Shazzy here. Today I'm going to show you just one novel from one author each. Could be because I'm like lazy to get into more books from another author, or I don't know, lost interest, or wasn't recommended enough. So I don't know. I just don't know, to be honest. But I'm going to show you what books I've got. It's only going to be one novel from one author each. In no particular order, I have The One Man by Andrew Gross. Despite that this is the only Andrew Gross novel I have, I do have a few books by Andrew Gross, but that was when he was collaborating with James Patterson, so they don't count. So this is the only Andrew Gross novel I have. Can't remember when was the last time I read it. I used to read it like 2017, 2018. Yeah, I just can't remember the last time I read it. The only novel I got from Anthony Burgess is A Clockwork Orange, and I used to read that lots and lots of times. Till last year. I haven't even watched a movie, but I'm hoping to find a movie on DVD or Blu-ray or 4K in good condition. I heard it was one of the most graphical movies of all time. And I'm not quite sure what else is there. I'll have to look up what Anthony Burgess novels are there on the internet. I used to read those books years ago. I can't remember what they looked like. So hopefully I'll give it a reread whenever I get a chance. So I have Pendulum by Adam Hanby, The Chalkman by C.J. Tudor, Viking Fire by Justin Hill, and Marshall's Law by Ben Sanders. And I read those books last year. Two Can Play That Game by Leanne Young. It's where Sam Chu has one goal in her life: to make an awesome indie game. Till her rival, Jerky McJerkface, sneakily grabs the last tip. Okay. And it's war between Sam and Jerky McJerkface. So this is actually a great read, not just for romantic readers or young adult readers, but for gamers like myself as well. Such a good book. You're gonna love it. And the only novel I got from Michelle Prack is The Rush. I listened to the audiobook on Spotify. It's where two girls, a guy, and a foreigner travels around the outback until things go a lot worse, while one of the staff members at the pub has to prep for the storm that's coming while looking after a one-year-old son until there's a biker who just wouldn't leave the employee alone. So you should definitely give The Rush a read by Michelle Prack. And you can listen to the audiobook on either Spotify or Audible. But yeah, you should give it a read and give it a listen way out. Next up, it's recommended by some mates on Booksta, Twitter, and Book Talk. Probably about, I don't know, my last recommendations, or they just, volunteered to do so, or what I saw on social media. So I got the first entry of Chaos Walking called The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. It was recommended by Pete's and Puzzles on Insta a couple of years ago. It's sort of alright, but hopefully I get a chance to get into more of these whenever I get a chance. Recommended by For the Love of Wine Books, I have Illuminate. I haven't listened to the audiobook, but it looks like I'm reading a science fiction movie by Annie Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Thanks to Rachel Reeds on Booksta, I have Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow, and that is sort of like a mixed crossover between Alice in Wonderland and Harry Potter. Szynski is a huge fan of 1984, and thanks to Szynski's content, I gave it a read, and it's like Big Brother set in the near future. You should definitely give 1984 a read. And that was the only George Orwell novel I got, so hopefully the next novel I need to get for myself is Animal Farm by George Orwell. So, yeah, give Szynski a follow on Insta, Twitter, Threads, and TikTok if you haven't already. They got some pretty cool recommendations on books and showing their love for Pokemon. Recommended by Books of Nicks, I have Renegades by Marissa Meyer, or Maya, whichever you pronounce it. I apologize for that. It's like you're watching a Marvel movie. And yeah, secret identities, extraordinary powers. She wants vengeance, he wants justice. It's like you're watching a Marvel film, so you should definitely give Renegades a read, and hopefully I'll give Heartless a go whenever I get a chance. The next novel I'm going to show you involves mental health, and it was recommended by my best friend and my little sister, Shifty Ura, and that is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. It's where Asa is trying to be a good daughter, a good friend and a good student, and she was trying to track down a fugitive billionaire who has vanished without a trace. And alongside her best friend, Asa sets off in pursuit of the truth and to find a $100,000 reward. This is actually a mental health reference, so you should definitely give it a read if you haven't already. Recommended by Bree Loves Books, I got Psy by Neil Schusterman, and this is like the Hunger Games, but with size and whatnot. In a perfect world where only way to die is to be glammed by professional Psy, when situated and are chosen to be apprentices, they know they have no option but to learn the art of killing. However, the terrifying responsibility of choosing their victims is just a start. This is like the Hunger Games, but with size only, so you should give out a read whenever you get a chance. And I'll have to get into more Neil Schusterman novels whenever I get a chance. I used to read Divergent by Veronica Roth for my sister years ago until I was recommended by Melzy6 on Instagram to give us a read. And it's actually a reread. So Divergent is where Tris is forced to make a terrible choice in a divided society where everyone must confirm Tris does not fit. She ventures out alone, determined to discover where she truly belongs. Shot by a brutal new life, Tris can trust no one, and she is yet to join into a boy who seems to threaten and protect her. So I used to read it like years ago from one of my sisters until Melzy gave me a recommendation, and I gave her a reread. So you should definitely give Divergent a read, and hopefully I'll get into two more by Veronica Roth and other novels by Veronica Roth whenever I get a chance. Recommended by Captain Trophy Hunter, I have 7 Ancient Wonders by Matthew Wiley. Now, it's the only Matthew Wiley novel I have so far, since Ben recommended me to this one. It's where 2,000 years ago it was hidden within the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Now in the present day it must be found again. So Captain Jack West Jr. is a part soldier, part scholar, all hero, and he has to travel around the world to find the 7 ancient wonders, or something like that. I haven't read that many Matthew Wiley novels for a while because I never heard of him. And of course, Ben might be saying, Steve, you need to get into more of those novels. Well, Ben, if you reckon I should get into Matthew Wiley, I reckon you should get into other novels like Candace Fox or John Grisham, or I don't know, you should try something different apart from Matthew Wiley. But hopefully I'll give Matthew Wiley novels a go whenever I get a chance, mate. If you get into Candace Fox or John Grisham or any novels I read, mate. It was gifted to me by one of my sisters for my birthday years ago, and that is Terra Nullius by Claire G. Coleman. Jackie was running, there was no thought in his head, only an intense drive to run. There was no sense he was getting anywhere, no plan, no destination, no future. All he had was a sense of what was behind what he was running from. Jackie was running. So you should definitely give us a read if you support First Nation authors like Claire G. Coleman or other First Nation authors like Anita Heiss or Stan Grant. Just give that a read and hopefully you'll learn why the First Nations are more important here in Australia. The book I'm currently reading is Trust Me by T.M. Logan. That's the only novel from T.M. Logan I've got, since I don't know anything about T.M. Logan and I never heard of his works before. So I'm 200 pages down, so hopefully I'll get it finished by the end of the month, so fingers crossed for that. Now I'm up to the unread books, and they are The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I used to watch a movie starring Daniel Craig years ago, but I never read the novel before. I haven't watched a Swedish movie either, so I'll have to give this a read, probably about next month or two. But I might listen to an audiobook on either Spotify or Audible, so fingers crossed. The Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern. I picked this up from Big W last year because it's part of the 100 Reads by Better Reading, so hopefully I'll give The Night Circus a go whenever I get a chance. It's been on my TBR for a while, so here's The Witcher Blood of Elves. And that's the only Witcher novel I have since there's a Netflix show going. However, I'll have to give this a read whenever I get a chance. Most importantly, I haven't played the game adaptations before, so hopefully I'll give The Witcher Blood of Elves a read whenever I get a chance. And it's been on my TBR for a very, very long time, but I never got a chance to read since I picked it up from Savers years ago, and that is Baby Did a Bad Bad Thing by Gabriel Lord. It looks like a reference to Baby Did a Bad Bad Thing by Chris Isaac. Yeah, I need to give this a read whenever I get a chance. You can see by the pages, they're like yellow, ages a lot. So yeah, I need to give this a read whenever I get a chance, because I completely forgot it's on my TBR for a very, very long time. What was I thinking? So there you go. That's only one novel I have from one author each. What have you got from my stack? Or what have you got from your collection? Let me know down in the comments below. You may if I got nothing to say, you might want to leave a wet emoji because of the rush, where you can see there's a bit of wet from the cover, so a bit of a raindrop would be great. Just hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell to be notified. You can give me a follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and of course Letterboxd, where I let you know what movies I was watching and what movies I recommend you should give it a watch. And thanks for watching.